Yeah, it was pretty quick. Significantly faster than I do it, I would say. I wish I could read fast so I could understand what was just selected.
Run away, Cerberus. Cerberus is fleeing in terror.
Do not watch this if you have not finished this game. There's so much being spoiled. Hello, I'm Amir Rao. I'm the studio director for Supergiant Games, and I'm here with...
Hey, I'm Greg Kasavin. I'm creative director at Supergiant Games. We worked on this game, Hades 2, and all the other Supergiant games prior to this one. All 4 of them before this, right? 4.
That's true.
Yes.
That's right. Greg and I have been working together for over 16 years at Supergiant. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that, and even longer if you take us back to the EA days. Yeah, when we worked on real-time strategy games, which are very different from this game, though share a camera perspective.
And we are watching in all regions speedrun of Hades 2. So it looks like the runner is starting with the surface, right? So kind of going backwards compared to the order these things are introduced in the actual video game.
Yeah, and what do we have here? We've got Raval and Rocky the Raven running support. What's the aspect?
I think is he running?
Is it just base?
I don't think it's base. It looks like Medea, right? No, it is base. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing. What aspect? It's Mel Skull. It says on the screen.
Yeah.
Greg, it says on the screen what aspect it is. It says right here in the splits. The information is all there.
Oh,
yeah. So
okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we're looking at a Mel Skull run, base Mel Skull. So that means basically for every the last. Is this the one? I'm mixing up all my.
The
less shells you have.
Shells you have, the more damage you do.
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to remember because we iterated on this one a few different times in a few different ways. There was even
Yeah, we had the version where it was just the final shot that was powered up instead of kind of like scaling. Yeah.
Yeah. And looks like he's blazing through Aphira. I'm curious.
Yeah, what did he grab from Medea? I didn't
even see. Yeah, everything is moving too fast. The run is too fast already. I can say that we are speeding too quickly. Yeah.
Yes. A very fast run of some sort. If only there was a name.
Yeah. They should call that something. I feel like because a lot of people like to do that. Okay, he re-rolled first. So because they pick so fast, right? We'll never know what's happening. The problem is the selections are too quick. But it looks like I wonder why he did Mel Skull. So my understanding of what's fast in the game, which may be out of date, honestly, was that, the aspect of Medea is sort of like the fast aspect. But he's chosen Mel Skull for probably a very specific reason, and I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
He skips the duo.
Skipped a duo there. Interesting.
Oh, it looks like he got the Hermes boon travel plan. He must have, because it replaced the shop item.
Well, time to melt Polyphemus here.
Yes. He's timing the attacks against the phase breaks super perfectly, so every shot hits. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Well, that was quick. Indeed.
It's very quick. Looks like he's got his splits on the side here. I don't know if everyone can see the splits, or if only we can see the splits.
I think everyone can see them. Yeah, and this is 12 fear in the corner there, so it's not like the most insane difficulty that is possible, but it's certainly a bump up.
Yeah, and my understanding is the reason they do that, so they use the Vow of Frenzy because in addition to making enemies faster, which seems like it would make it harder, they also come into the game faster, spawn faster.
Right.
And they'll move to you faster if they're across the map. So it has a bunch of if you're trying to go fast type of advantages, even though it makes the game harder. So that's like an important part of the fear setup. And I believe on the surface they use, well, maybe not. Do they use Vow of Shadows? We can't see what his Vow setup is. I know some runners like to use the Vow that basically spawns extra enemies for the mini bosses for the wardens and stuff, because in some scenarios it's actually a faster fight because all the all the ads and stuff are killed when the main boss is killed.
Right.
So there are a couple of these sort of interesting strategic considerations for going fast, for sure.
It's very cool how he's got like an Omega attack basically in the air as the enemies spawn in, like that right there. You know, he's just waiting for them to. You don't know exactly where the foes are going to show up necessarily, but you know some of them are going to be close to you, and those guys are gone. Yeah,
I think they do start to become accustomed to like where, because you know we know where the spawn points are, right? When we like I think they start to have a really intuitive sense for the sort of spawn area in each different map in each different region and stuff like that. Yeah, one of the things that I think is like one of the things I'm most impressed by when I watch a speedrun is, of course, there's the speed, but I actually and I appreciate it actually a lot in all the axe and skull speedruns I see, especially, is like how clean the movement looks a lot of the times, because you can't waste. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't waste a single action. And they just make it look really, really smooth.
That's for sure.
Yeah, this is. I mean, the speed at which the boon choices are being made is actually amazing to me.
Yeah, how are you even reading and processing that fast, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know exactly what you're looking for, right? For them, they're just seeing as the thing I already know I want already there, which I guess is different than the rest of us who must read, comprehend, and then make a choice.
Yeah. Well, Eris is maybe lasting even less time than Polyphemus did before.
Yeah, well, he's got a whole, all of the Thessaly biome worth of power-ups.
Yeah, like Fine Line is doing a lot of work there, right? You see that green line that's going off a lot is like really powerful from Hera, just adding to his power.
Partly because he's moving so fast. I haven't processed any of the hammer choices. I haven't processed anything. But the good news is probably neither has anyone else who's watching this, right? So we're all in the same boat of not knowing what he chose. Okay, he's going Fig Leaf here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fig Leaf Region 3, right? So the idea is you're going to skip. So these Olympus encounters can have a lot of foes, which means they can take a really long time. And so the way the Fig Leaf works is you have a chance on entering any room that you won't have to fight the enemies in it, right? You'll just get the, what is the official term for the multicolored ball that drops?
The Prism Sphere, yes, of course. Yes, from Dionysus.
Yeah, you get the Prism Sphere, and then you basically the whole room is empty. He's hoping that it procs. I know in the speedrunning community, they get very upset when it doesn't trigger.
Yeah, which it hasn't here. It actually does. It tends to trigger so reliably early on. It's also interesting to me that it was picked here because there are only 2 regions left, and it could have gone off in one more region. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I wonder. I forgot what Keepsake was taking in Region 2. I think that the way they think this works is whenever you need it to proc, it doesn't. I think
Murphy's Law, yeah. Yes.
It's the speed. I believe most speed. Oh my God! Look at that telescope.
Yes.
Often when you see this, how quickly it's done. Of course, as someone responsible for tuning and balancing stuff, occasionally you're like, well, did I do this right?
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes. It went off. Yeah. Okay.
It's actually better for you for it to go off later because
exactly.
The encounters tend to be a little bit tougher later on, right? So,
yeah. But I guess it's
fortunate.
Like all forms of gambling, it's only fun when you win.
Yeah.
So I guess when it doesn't proc, it's less fun. But yeah, I think I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But for the most part, the thing I always have to remind myself when I watch this is like, the hours put into playing this well, to sorting out the build, to figuring out like how it's all supposed to stack is a significant investment. And not only is it a significant investment, I actually should probably count I should probably count the hours that every other runner also had, right? To figure out all the strategies. Yeah.
Yeah, you're learning from other people's, kind of research and development as well.
Yeah, exactly. You get like all the group knowledge, right? So that stacked on top of each other is how you make the fastest run. It's not just what the one person does, right? It's like what they all did together, figuring it all out, and that's kind of a cool thing.
It was always, it takes me back to, because we did this with the original Hades back in 2020 or so, and it was amazing to us that we made a game that made people want to play this way and get that good and practice so much and so on.
Yeah.
Because of course a game like Hades, first and foremost, it's not designed with speedrunning. It's not like designed for speedrunners in that way explicitly, right? It's made for a lot of different kinds of players. But we wanted it to have that depth so that it, maybe someone could want to really get really good at it, and it happened like way beyond our expectation. So to see it like carry forth into Hades 2, where there's kind of like more ways to play it, there's 2 totally separate runs, which we're going to see here in a bit, was always, I think, really gratifying throughout early access and into the launch. Like you're saying, players are just so good. They've spent so much time getting this proficient at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can't look at it as anything other than like these people have like honored your game with their skill and time, because they could apply this skill and this effort to a lot of other games, right?
Yeah.
And there's something about the game that has kept them coming back, and it feels good enough to play over long periods of time. And honestly, for every run like this, right, where we are going to watch what I assume is a successful all-region speedrun, though I don't know for sure because I haven't seen it, there are a bunch of, failures, restarts, didn't get the right thing, couldn't pull the thing together, tried something new, it didn't really work out. All the dead ends, like all the stuff that is part of the grind of getting this good at something. Jeez.
That was amazing. Normally the Typhon's tail backs off from you, and you can't really blow it up, without kind of like the equivalent of a phase break. But apparently not. Apparently, one need not be limited in that way. Now here comes the final encounter of the surface route.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be fast.
It's going to be real fast.
And the surface route is the harder of the two than the Underworld. So we'll see if there's any like change to the fear setup or anything like that to compensate. But if the surface is this easy, so then the Underworld shouldn't be too much trouble.
No, it shouldn't be too much trouble. I'll say one of the other things I really I was really happy with is, I think speedruns are also the most fun to watch when there's a little bit of danger. Now, of course, for our runner here, there's none. They have 190 armor, and I don't know when the last time they took a hit was, but the thing here is they're using the white antler, right, which reduces their max health to 30 in return for lots of crits. So, though not explicitly designed for speedrunners, I was pretty happy that that's kind of how that turned out, because it's one of those things where it adds a little bit of sitting up straight to the last biome of every speedrun, knowing that you have very little life in exchange for high crits.
Yeah, with 190 armor, you've got quite a buffer there. But normally, you could get one shot at. Yeah. So that is the surface down. That was down. What 13 minutes, right?
Yeah. It was pretty quick, significantly faster than I do it, I would say. But still, it's pretty good. So I guess now we're gonna go see just sort of like what the changes are for the Underworld run. I wonder why they approach all regions with surface first. Is it because you're more likely to lose on the surface?
It's kind of like eating your vegetables, at the start of the meal.
Well, he's doing Mel's skull. He's doing no. The changes were nothing at all. That's what we learned. This is the tactics and strategy.
Yeah, presumably the keepsake got reset, right? We'll see what the first keepsake was, because I wasn't sure.
I guess.
Oh, it's the iridescent fan. So Hera first.
Yeah, Hera first. So the thing I think we need to process here too is that a lot of like the any percentage speedruns, right? They use the in-game timer, but this it looks like this all regions run uses the real time timer.
Yeah, with the 14.
Yeah,
things,
because it looked like it was ticking down in the crossroads, right? So he actually, okay, it makes sense why he changed nothing, right? Because the runner changed nothing because they're being timed, and so they've got to run the aspect that will do all regions the fastest.
Yeah.
Is that why Mel Skull over Medea? I don't know. Will we ever know? Will someone one day educate me? Unclear.
Yeah, it was also interesting to go into, taking a chaos gate seems quite risky in a speed run, because chaos can sometimes you can whiff with the chaos choices and get some pretty nasty outcomes that might slow you down a lot.
Yes, you can, for sure.
And I think that was the longest this runner spent on making a choice, which was about 1.5 seconds to have to process, because the chaos choices are some of the most kind of randomized.
Yeah.
No, not taking that infernal contract there, I assume.
I think they should flex and do it.
On
the last speed, when we did this in 2021, I believe
there was a chaos. Yeah.
I believe Vorim fished. So just think about that, runner. Just know that there are ways to show how good you really are beyond making this room take 0.3 seconds.
A strict adherence to the fastest speed possible. We have to respect that.
we do. But
yeah, not a lot of resource gathering. That does seem contrary to the goals of trying to get through fast. And I assume he has all the resources necessary on this particular save file.
I could be remembering that totally wrong. Also,
no, I think there was a bit of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's different with the last run we watched years and years ago is a fresh file run, which is someone trying to win on the very first night, which is different than kind of this max save file, max weapon, max arcana table, max familiars run that we're watching here, where you've gotten everything to the highest level, including your skill and decision making, and going from there.
Yeah, Hecate is not. Yeah, I mean you see the chunks
running
of damage.
The polymorph. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and just like it is amazing how much with the particular boon choices, starting with Hera and everything, like the amount of damage output just in Erebus already is really something.
It is, and he got Flash Fry, which causes the little death novas. So
yeah, it's even more
really fast. Yeah. Oh, we go.
So this time it's Fig Leaf in the second, in the second region. Okay.
So I guess we are going to see some differences just based on how people approach speedrunning the Underworld versus the surface as part of this.
Yeah, and the choice of Rocky the Raven as a familiar makes sense for speedrunning, since Rocky allows you to critical hit more frequently. So over time, that's gonna get you out of encounters even faster. You see some of those big, like, juicy yellow damage numbers that jump up, and that's probably Rocky doing his thing.
For sure. And we're talking about a speedrun here. This is an any percent all region speedrun. Maybe I misjargoned. I think I jargoned correctly. But there are so many cool formats for showing off your skill at this video game. It's just super cool. There's people who play High Fear. There's people who play 50 plus, 60 plus, 62, 64, just different really, really like high challenge runs. There's 32 fear runs. There's Fresh File, where you start from scratch with nothing and try and win on the first night. There's so many different ways of kind of approaching, kind of like showing what you can do. I've been really, as one of the people who works on the tuning and the balance of these games, it's been really fun to watch, because they are totally different skills, right? In a lot of ways, even though they all require you to be quite good at this game.
Yeah, they'll go through every weapon, every aspect, and everything. Yeah, so it really, like we were saying before, it's such kind of like a compliment to the game, to see all those different formats emerge, because again, we I think on this game we actually did do quite a bit more just to try and make it possible for people to play as quickly as possible with the fewest amount of interruptions. So if they want to speedrun in this fashion, the game isn't gonna like sort of get in their way. Hopefully at any point. And then seeing all the formats emerge over time is super cool.
Yeah, there was an early access patch where we like shaved fractions of a second off of some of these key interactions, like entering and exiting rooms and stuff like that. And it's, you know, it's just stuff that we notice ourselves, not just like from speedrunners, like we notice ourselves playing through the game a lot. And, you know, it tends to benefit people who play a lot too, whether they're running or running high fear or any of that kind of stuff. Just the smoothness of the game.
Yeah, that was
so fast.
Yeah, it was amazing. He had all the entire band sort of like clustered together, so that the moment they kind of like came back online, you could just deal the maximum amount of damage to all of them together, instead of like picking them apart one by one, which most normal players, you know, end up doing.
Yeah, and you know, this is like if you're someone who is coming from Hades 1 and you kind of liked some of the movement feel in that game, I think the skull aspects can get you pretty close to some of that feeling, because basically the special is kind of like a forward dash, which does damage, and you can see he's making use of both dashing and the special to essentially double dash in a certain way, and in addition to occasionally using the Omega attack and all this other kind of stuff. Gosh, I wish I could read fast so I could understand what was just selected. And comment on it.
Oof.
Yikes.
There goes Queen Lamia there. Took cryo powder. I saw that one.
Cryo powder is which one is that? Is that the one that
It's only me again.
like hitting frozen enemies with Hef does something? I can't remember.
Take care.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the combo, the Demeter Hephaestus combo. Yeah, you do even more damage with those blasts. Yeah, Hephaestus has like some of the, you know, highest sort of single target burst damage of
which I guess it's you know, it's not something I think about as like, oh, that would be great, but look, the runner's got it on the special, so basically you're in like a really good spot for that, because you can apply 800 damage with basically not your primary attack, which is nice, like additive layering on top of everything else you're doing.
Yeah. Now we're I think we're pretty close to the end here of Field. Yeah. This is it for Fields, right? Yeah. The final confrontation of Fields is coming up.
Big stuff camel, right? That means that when targets are alone, they take more damage. And
which is really good here. Run away, Cerberus. Cerberus is fleeing in terror from this onslaught. Oh, didn't have the magic to do the Omega attack on.
Yeah, but it's
not gonna
all primed out.
Yeah, not gonna matter.
Various things that were picked up.
And that was an example of just like intentionally taking the hit, right? Like why dodge it? Just tank it. Just to get through this quickly.
If you can apply the damage, you might as well, right?
Yeah. Well, this is on to Tartarus. End of the line. You know, full health with armor to spare. I think the odds are looking pretty good here.
Yeah.
The idea
like
that
something the runner has done before, right?
Yes.
Feels like
and White Antler once again for actually the high risk, you know, high reward down to
still got
30 life.
Yeah. 23 armor isn't that much though, right?
No, it's not. Yeah, Kronos can get rid of that in just a single hit, easy.
Yes. If I were gonna wish for something, I would wish for this kind of scenario in terms of where the fig leaf in the first room. Look at that.
That's funny. Yeah.
Just a little bit of peril possible.
Interesting to skip. Well, it makes sense. You skip the because the Hades room is optional. It doesn't get you any closer to your goal, so you have to skip all those.
Right.
Yeah, and in a real-time format, it's gonna make, the later rooms, you'll have to slog through more rooms and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Man, yeah, less than 25 minutes for both of the... Took us like something like close to 5 years to make all this stuff, but only apparently only about 25 minutes to get through it.
Well, we made a lot of stuff that no one's seen.
We did.
Seeing in this speed run.
Skipped everything in the shop. That was interesting. Not a single thing purchased in the shop. It's all unnecessary.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here
I would
here
say,
goes.
by the way, though it's way too late to say this, do not watch this if you have not finished this game. There's so much being spoiled. Anyway,
Yeah. Well,
it's too
goes
late
by,
for you.
and it goes by quick. You blink and you'll miss it, as they say.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow.
That was
He
cool. He
just
caught everyone. Yeah.
Grouped everybody up. Yeah. So there goes phase 1, and now this is it. It would have been interesting to see, full Valve Rivals,
Yeah, I agree.
speedrun. But of course, when you get this good, I don't know that Valve Rivals is that much harder.
No, it is. I mean, I think it. Well, okay. Good
There,
job.
congratulations. Yeah. 25 minutes and change.
Yes, there we go. So yeah,
Really impressive.
really super impressive. It's good stuff.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for joining us for such a quick trip through the entirety of the core content of Hades 2. Yeah, the game is out on Steam and Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch. If you check it out, we hope you enjoy it. We're really grateful for everyone's support. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.